You must protect cats and kids. It's Shani, certified feline training and behavior specialist with Wild at Heart. And let's talk about this video. In the video, there is a toddler that is roughhousing with a cat. And there are endless reasons why posting this video, allowing this to happen between your cats and your kids are extremely problematic. So many people in the comments who were defending this video were saying that the cat seemed unbothered. Okay, so what happens when the cat is no longer unbothered by being harassed and manhandled by a child that should be supervised? What happens when the cat has had enough and then ends up scratching or biting this small child? And do you think when the cat actually defends themselves and scratches or bites the kid, do you think the parents are going to be in that cat's corner and defend that cat? No, that cat is more likely to be abandoned or dropped off at a shelter. And now this is a cat that is known to attack children. And what happens to those cats? I don't know. Do you think that maybe they're going to be at risk for euthanasia? Because all of those negative consequences and punishments are certainly not going to be done to the child or the parent who is irresponsible. Unfortunately, it doesn't take a lot for a cat to severely injure a child, and it also doesn't take a lot for a child to severely injure a cat. For example, it's super common for children to pull a cat's tail, and that is a devastating, oftentimes a death sentence type of injury for a cat. And a lot of doctors say that when you are dealing with a tail injury, you are actually dealing with a spinal cord injury because the tail is attached to their spine and they often are left paralyzed or incontinent. And I personally have worked with numerous cats who have come into the shelter who have had tail injuries, specifically from humans or children. And every single one of those cats had to be euthanized. So don't tell me I'm overreacting. And people were telling me in the comments to stay in my lane. And I was like, ma'am, sir, I am literally the only person in this comment section that, one, is certified in cat behavior, two, has literally worked with hundreds of kids from the ages of 1.5 to 22 years old for over 15 years, three, has literally worked with thousands of cats in the shelter environment who have been abandoned and abused, four, has actually worked with animals and children at the same time and had to manage children and animals coexisting in a safe and respectful way. And five, like I said, has worked with numerous cats who have been injured by children. So ma'am, this is absolutely my lane. This lane has a plaque with my name dedicated to me. It's so exhausting to have to demand like the most basic level of respect for cats and kids, to demand for the most basic amount of empathy and compassion, as well as the most basic form of common sense. When you choose to have children and you choose to have animals, it's your responsibility to keep everybody safe. And allowing your kids to roughhouse with animals is not only dangerous for the animal, it's also dangerous for your child. I'm just gonna add a number 6 on my previous list because I actually worked inside a home with children and one of the kids was severely abusing the cat in the home, and I had to go through great lengths to report that, and I actually quit because it was horrific and I could not imagine that these parents were allowing this to happen, and I guarantee you that it started in a much more milder form. And you can go ahead and look up and see how kids who abuse animals, how they end up in their adult life, because it's not pretty. You should be teaching your children about consent and how to have a respectful relationship with animals. And if you want to have children and you want to have animals, I love that for you. I love when kids and animals coexist, but it's up to the parents. It's their responsibility to fortify that respectful and consensual relationship. If you are 10 out of 10, always team cat, and you are so sick of seeing video after video of cats not being given consent or being disrespected, you should follow me because I'm on your team as well. I have TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. It's all Wild at Heart Cats. You can also hire me for one-on-one consultations if you're struggling with your cats or kids, and I can teach you the best way to fortify those relationships. Check my website, wildatheartcats.com. And thanks to all of the numerous messages. Yes, I got a lot of hate in that comment section, and I got even more supportive messages in my inbox of people agreeing with me, but too fearful to say anything because it is like the gang mentality out there. But it's just so interesting that people are losing their goddamn mind simply because I defended a child and I defended a cat.